Hey guys, so in the last section, what did we do? We were able to add all the images into the drawable folder. Okay, right now we have to make a modification in the Word class as well as the Word adapter in order to display those images. Because right now when I run the particular app, I mean, let me just run the app and let's see it in our emulator. Okay, so here we go. When I run the application, as you can see, this is our emulator, and when we run the app we don't see any changes in the images because we here we go. The gradient is still building, but I think we'll have it in a second. Here we go. So here we have all the activities. When I click on numbers activity, I see the same image. I click on family members, colors and phrases. Yeah, so this is not going to help any of us. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to set a resource for all the images, right? And how are we going to do that? Obviously, in order to do that, the first of all we need to have the in the word class. So I'll just go ahead and I'll create a resource id. Creating a resource id variable. Resource, I'm sorry, id variable in order to access the images. Okay, so it would be private. I think it is of the type int image resource. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get the obviously here we use m, so that is our thing. Okay, private int image resource. So let's just go ahead and get the getter method for that. So I'll say generate getter image resource. Here we go. We were able to get it. Let me just put it here. Okay. So one thing we can do is obviously I am gonna need to modify the word class in order to use that. But I kind of realized a problem. Okay. Obviously I'm gonna need to modify the parameters or arguments of the word constructor. But the thing is, when we look at the emulator, we have images for all of the sections, including the phrases activity as well. And during the initial discussion of the application, we were quite insistent that the phrases is not going to have any images. So obviously, I mean, if I modify this, I still would have to give a resource ID for a resource ID for the particular for phrases section as well, and we obviously cannot afford to do that. So what we are going to do is we are going to overload the public constructor. So I think you guys are aware of function overloading in Java. That is what we are going to do. So what do overloading in here means? In here it actually means that we are just creating another constructor with three parameters so that we can use those constructors depending upon how we see fit. Okay, here we go. So we have public word, and here we have obviously int image resource. Then we have string default translation. Then we have string Miwok translation. Okay, and obviously whatever values we get here will go to that. So we have m image resource equals to image resource, m Miwok translation equals to Miwok translation, and m default translation equals to default translation. Okay, so let's just go ahead and add all the images in those particular activities, which are colors activity, numbers activity, and family members activity. Okay, so here we go. We have colors activity. Here, instead of that, we will also add r dot id dot what do we need to know? Sorry, we need to add drawable, right? So r dot drawable dot read. I'm sorry, no, I don't want to delete that. Here r dot drawable dot read. Okay, here as well. So r dot drawable dot green. Let me do the same for all of them. Okay, so r dot drawable dot gray dot black drawable dot white. Okay. So we did it for colors activity. Let me just do it for family members activity. Mother or dot travel dot son. And we have our dot travel dot daughter. Travel dot brother. Younger brother. Sister. Younger sister. Grandmother. And finally, travel dot grandfather. Okay, so we are done with colors activity, family activity. Let's go to numbers activity. 1, 2, or dot drawable dot 3, or dot drawable dot 4, or dot drawable dot 5, dot 6, or dot drawable dot 7, or dot drawable dot 8, or dot drawable dot 9, and finally, or dot drawable dot 10. So let me just run the application to see if all of these changes were implemented. So the Gradle build is running. So let me just check it. So we have numbers, family members, colors, and phrases. So when we look at numbers, we have uh, one, two. I mean, obviously there is not going to be any changes because we haven't made any modifications in the word adapter. But until now, we know that the application is running without any errors. Okay. Now let's go ahead and modify the word adapter.java method. So let's go to the word adapter class, and in word adapter, as we can see, we created Miwok text views for Miwok as well as the default text view. So now I'll just go ahead and say create image view and set its reference ID. Okay, so I'll say image view, I don't know, maybe just like default image view equals to list view item dot find view by ID, view by ID, or dot ID dot image. What did I set it as in list.xml? We have to check it out. Oh, I named it as image, so that's what I'll say. Or dot ID dot image. Unfortunately, I'm not able to get it. So let me just check. We have Miwok translation, default translation, and the image ID is r.id dot image. If you want more, I can set it to image view. Image view. Okay, I'll just set it to image. So here we go. We have r.id.image, and that should work. Okay, so it is working. Now we have to obviously set the source or image source for this. So I'll say default image view dot set image from drawable. So or using ID. So I'll just set image resource. And how are we gonna get it? It is absolutely simple. We'll just say current word dot get image resource. So we were able to modify the word adapter as well. So let's just run the application and see if it is working. Here we go. So when I say numbers, I get 1 to 10. And when I say family members, I get these. And when I say colors, I get these. And finally, when I say phrases, I have phrases without any images. So everything is working absolutely fine. In the next video, we will see how to make more visual modifications. Okay. With that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Have a great one.